What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with my hands-on and first impressions video of the T-Mobile REVVL 5G. So let's get started. So this is the T-Mobile REVVL 5G. Now this phone was recently launched at T-Mobile and Metro by T-Mobile, and it is available for $399. Now I'm sure they're always running different promotions, so you most likely will not be paying the full price for the phone, so definitely make sure to stop by your local carrier store to see what they're offering it for. Now about a week ago, I did cover the other two of the three brand new REVVL phones that have launched. I made videos about the REVVL 4 and the REVVL 4 Plus. And then this phone, the REVVL 5G, is the best of those three. But let's put the phone off to the side for a second here and take a look at everything that does come included in the box. So here is the box. You can see at the bottom, T-Mobile REVVL 5G. We'll open this up and see what all we get. So we do get a packet here. We'll open this up and see what's in here. So we do have a quick start guide for the REVVL 5G. And then also two little boxes within the main box. So in here we do have a USB-C cable for charging and data transfer. And then on the other side, we have a USB wall adapter. So the wall adapter does have T-Mobile branding on it, which is pretty awesome. And the adapter itself is 15 watts. Also in that packet, we do have a SIM card removal tool. Now, as the name implies, the REVVL 5G is indeed a 5G device. And this phone is actually the most inexpensive 5G phone being offered in the US at the moment. That's something that T-Mobile has definitely been touting, and it's a good thing too, because this phone really does offer a lot for the price. Now with the T-Mobile REVVL 5G, we are getting a 6.53-inch display. The display itself features IPS LCD technology. However, things do look very bright and clear. The display itself is 1080p. We're getting a PPI of 395, and we're getting a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio. So more of a narrow but tall form factor here with the phone. Now the design of the phone actually reminds me a lot of the Google Pixel 4a, but definitely in a good way. Now up top here, we do have a hole punch for the front-facing camera situated at the top left of the phone, and the front-facing camera itself is 16 megapixels. Now internally with the device, we're getting 128 gigabytes of storage with microSD card expansion. There is no wireless charging with the phone, but we do have a fingerprint sensor on the back. Let's try out the fingerprint sensor right now. So a very fast fingerprint sensor. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, extremely quick there. So not only do we have a fingerprint sensor on the back, but the phone also features face unlock. So there are a variety of different methods to access the device. Now also on the back side of the phone, we have a triple camera setup. So there's a 48 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. Now here's how things look with the main camera on the device. Then from here, we can switch over to the ultra wide camera to fit a lot more content into the frame. And then we can also go over to portrait mode. So with portrait mode, of course, you are going to get those nice blurred out photos, and we're getting that with both the rear camera and the front camera as well with the phone. There's also a special pro mode where we get a bunch of other options as well. And then going over to the more tab, we get even more options, including that super macro mode. So with super macro, again, we can get very close up to the actual object and take very detailed photos. Now with the T-Mobile REVVL 5G, we're getting 6 gigabytes of RAM and the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765 processor. Now this is the regular 765, it's not the 765G. Not that that's really an issue, because at $399, I'm totally happy with what we're getting here with the phone. And I did run a benchmark test as well, and I'll show you the score from that right now. But if you want to download Geekbench 5 on your own personal device, and then compare the scores that you get from that test to these scores, then you'll definitely get a better idea of how much of an upgrade this phone's going to be. But you can see here I got a single core score of 624 and a multi-core score of 1944. So definitely pretty decent here. And overall, navigating around the phone is silky smooth. Definitely very good performance here with the device. And especially compared to the REVVL 4 Plus, this certainly feels like a performance upgrade. Now I am going to be doing a comparison between this phone and the other two REVVL phones that did come out recently, so definitely stay tuned for that video. Now video recording with the REVVL 5G maxes out at 4K at 30 frames per second, which is totally acceptable. And with the phone, we're getting a very beefy 4,500 milliamp hour internal battery. Now the phone does give us the ability to also do reverse charging. You are gonna have to buy a special cable to do that, but in theory, you could plug one end of a USB-C cable into the phone and then use the other end to charge a different device. So maybe your friend's phone is running out of battery, for example, then you can use this phone to charge that phone, which is certainly a very cool innovation. Now, according to T-Mobile, with a full charge, you are going to be able to get 32 hours of talk time with the phone, and I'm looking forward to testing that out as I prepare for the full review. Now, with this device, we are getting Android 10 and pretty much a stock variant of the software. Of course, there are some customizations, but I like how clean and refined everything looks. Definitely a big fan of that. Another cool thing about this phone too is that we do get NFC. So if you're someone that does use NFC for mobile payments, for example, then you're certainly going to like the REVVL 5G. Now taking a closer look at the hardware here on the phone. As I mentioned before, we do have a hole punch for the front-facing camera, situated at the upper left of the phone. Then on the bottom, we do have a little bit of a thicker bottom bezel, but overall the phone does look very well proportioned, and I feel like they did a good job with the design. Now the materials here with the phone are all made out of plastic, besides the display, which is of course glass. Now on the left side of the phone, we have the slot for the microSD card and SIM card. Then on the right of the phone, we have the power button and we have the volume button. Now the power button is pretty interesting because there's actually a light built into it, so it makes the power button glow. Now on the top of the phone, we have the noise canceling microphone and we have the 3.5mm headphone jack. And then finally on the bottom, we have the speaker, microphone, and USB-C port for charging and data transfer. Then on the back of the phone, you probably already noticed this, but we have this really cool kind of gradient look here. And depending on what angle you tilt the phone, things actually look different. So that's very interesting as well. I've never really seen this type of color, I guess, to put it that way, on the back of a smartphone. It's really a variety of different colors and shades here, but you can definitely see a streak of the T-Mobile magenta. And then on the back of the phone, we have that camera module that is squared off with 3 cameras and a flash. We have the fingerprint sensor and the T-Mobile logo. So in general, I am very excited about the T-Mobile REVVL 5G. I'm definitely going to be making a lot more videos about this phone and going into further detail in the full review video. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I will see you in the next one.